Good evening. Welcome to tonight's broadcast where we delve into the intricate relationship between politics and your personal finances. It's a connection that often goes unnoticed, yet it profoundly impacts your daily life. Here's a number to wake you up. A figure that might just change the way you perceive your financial reality. It's a number that represents a significant shift in the economic landscape for the average American family. In the last 50 years, the average American family's federal tax rate has swung by 10 percentage points. This isn't a minor fluctuation, it's a substantial shift that can dramatically alter a family's financial standing. These changes reflect evolving economic policies and priorities, impacting everything from take-home pay to long-term savings. For a $70,000 income, that's a $7,000 difference. Imagine what you could do with an extra $7,000 each year. It could be a down payment on a car, a contribution to your children's education fund, or simply a cushion for unexpected expenses. That's not just pocket change, it's a considerable sum that can significantly impact your financial well-being and future. It's the difference between a family vacation and struggling to pay for groceries. It represents the choices you can make, the opportunities you can seize, and the security you can build for your loved ones. And who decides this? Who holds the power to influence these financial tides that affect every American family? Politicians in Washington, who probably don't know what a gallon of milk costs. Are they truly in touch with the everyday struggles and financial realities of the people they represent? Every law, budget, or regulation they pass, every decision made within the halls of power, sends shockwaves through your finances, creating ripples that extend far beyond the political arena and directly impact your bank account, affecting everything from your coffee, the small daily pleasures you enjoy, to your mortgage, the roof over your head, and the foundation of your family's future. We're told our finances are all about personal discipline, about saving diligently and making smart choices, but politics is the other half of the story. It's the unseen force that shapes the economic landscape and influences your financial destiny. Understanding this isn't just for political junkies. It's not just about following the latest headlines and engaging in partisan debates. It's a survival skill. It's about equipping yourself with the knowledge and awareness to navigate the complex interplay between politics and your money. Because if you ignore how politics controls your money, if you choose to remain oblivious to the decisions being made in Washington, you're letting strangers decide your financial fate. You're relinquishing control over your economic future and entrusting it to individuals who may not have your best interests at heart. Imagine the economy as a giant apartment building, and politics as the unpredictable landlord. The landlord sets the rent, controls the utilities, and decides if the pothole gets fixed, or just gets a sad orange cone. Politicians set the rules: minimum wage, trade deals, bank regulations, all of which hit your wallet directly. We often treat politics and personal finances separate, but they're deeply connected. That shouting match on Capitol Hill? It's tied to the number in your savings account. Even the best financial planning can be upended by a single act of Congress. Your financial health is fundamentally tethered to the whims of the political class. Why is government finance so confusing? Because it's meant to be. Politicians use jargon and euphemisms, revenue enhancement instead of tax hikes, quantitative easing instead of printing money. This complexity keeps people disengaged and less likely to protest. Budget bills are thousands of pages, tax codes are riddled with loopholes, and the average person can't keep up. When tax reforms pass, we get headlines, not the real math. The system favors the informed and wealthy, leaving most people in the dark. This fiscal fog shields politicians from accountability. Breaking through that fog is the first step to taking control of your money. Remember the COVID-19 stimulus checks? One day money just appeared in your account. It was a lifeline for many, but it wasn't free. Government borrowing paid for it, pushing the national debt even higher. That debt gets paid back through taxes, maybe for decades. Injecting trillions into the economy also fueled inflation, raising prices on everything from groceries to gas. The stimulus was a short-term boost, but inflation quietly ate away at those gains. It's a classic case of the government giving with one hand and taking with the other. Political decisions are never as simple as they seem. The stimulus was a real-world lesson in how politics can instantly change your bank balance and your future. Tax reform sounds great, but it's often a shell game. Take the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Lower rates, higher standard deduction, but also cap deductions like SALT, hurting some more than others. Many individual tax cuts were temporary, while corporate cuts were permanent. The result? Short-term relief for some, long-term uncertainty for most. Tax reform is rarely a simple gift. It's a bundle of trade-offs and hidden consequences. When politicians offer something that seems too good to be true, look for the strings. The house usually wins. Always read the fine print. Your wallet depends on it. The student loan saga is a perfect example of political whiplash. Pandemic-era payment pauses freed up cash for millions, showing how a single political move can change lives overnight. Then came promises of loan forgiveness, followed by court challenges and reversals. Relief turned to confusion as payments resumed and forgiveness evaporated. This back and forth left millions in limbo, proving that political promises aren't money in the bank until the check clears. Your finances can swing wildly based on who's in power and what the courts decide. It's a reminder, don't count on political promises until they're reality. Always check your balance twice. The Inflation Reduction Act of 2022. It was a landmark piece of legislation promising to tackle rising costs and reshape the American economy. The bill was ambitious in scope, touching on everything from healthcare to energy policy. It aimed to lower prescription drug prices, incentivize clean energy, and reduce the federal deficit. To many, it sounded like a superhero swooping in to save the day, a powerful force against the villains of inflation and economic hardship. The name itself conjured images of immediate relief and financial stability for everyday Americans. It was presented as a bold solution to a complex problem. But the reality is that its impact was subtle and long-term, a slow burn rather than an overnight sensation. The effects of the act are still unfolding, and its true legacy will only be fully understood years down the line. It's a marathon, not a sprint when it comes to assessing the impact of such sweeping legislation. Instead of direct checks landing in your bank account, it offered tax credits for things like energy-efficient home upgrades. Think new windows, insulation, or a more efficient heating system. These incentives were designed to encourage long-term investments in sustainability and reduce energy consumption, and electric vehicles, making them more accessible to a wider range of consumers through significant tax breaks. The goal was to accelerate the transition to a cleaner transportation system and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. With lots of fine print. Eligibility requirements, income limits, and specific product qualifications all played a role in determining who could actually benefit from these incentives. Navigating the details could be a challenge. On healthcare, it capped drug costs for seniors, providing much-needed relief to those on fixed incomes who often struggle to afford essential medications. This was a significant step towards making healthcare more affordable for older Americans. And let Medicare negotiate prices, a big win for some, finally giving the government the power to bargain for lower drug prices on behalf of its beneficiaries. This provision had been debated for years, and its inclusion in the act was a major victory for patient advocates. Funded by new corporate taxes, ensuring that large corporations contribute their fair share to the cost of these important programs. This shift in the tax burden was intended to promote greater economic fairness and reduce the national debt. Did it actually reduce inflation? That's the million-dollar question. Not really, at least not right away. The immediate impact on overall price levels was minimal, and inflation remained a persistent challenge in the months following the act's passage. Its real effect was changing financial incentives, subtly altering the economic landscape and influencing how individuals and businesses make decisions about spending and investment, and choices for millions, shaping their behavior in ways that align with the act's broader goals of promoting clean energy, reducing healthcare costs, and fostering economic growth. Politics didn't hand out cash, offering a direct and immediate boost to individual wallets. It nudged behavior with incentives, gently guiding people towards choices that benefit both themselves and the broader economy. It's a sophisticated way for government to shape your spending, influencing your decisions without directly dictating them. The lesson: political moves often influence your wallet, sometimes in obvious ways, but more often through subtle shifts in incentives and opportunities, in ways you don't see right away. It's a reminder to look beyond the headlines and consider the long-term implications of policy decisions on your personal finances. Your finances aren't just about hard work, they're a political battlefield. Every election law and court ruling can mean gains or losses for you. Politics is the operating system of the economy, setting interest rates, taxes, and safety nets. Ignoring this is like walking through a minefield blindfolded. The party in power shapes who wins and loses financially, and the tug-of-war never ends. Financial literacy now requires political literacy. You need to know how policies affect your budget and investments. The key question, how will this affect my bottom line? So, the system feels rigged and you're wondering, what can you do? It's easy to feel overwhelmed, like your voice doesn't matter. But disengaging is exactly what those who benefit from the current system want you to do. Don't disengage. Get smarter. Arm yourself with knowledge. Understand the intricacies of the financial landscape. It's not about becoming a financial wizard overnight, but about developing a keen awareness of how money flows and who controls the levers. When you hear about a new law, don't just accept the surface-level explanation. Dig deeper. Ask yourself, who pays? Who is ultimately footing the bill for this legislation? Is it the average taxpayer, or are there loopholes that benefit specific corporations or individuals? And equally important, who benefits? Who stands to gain the most from this new law? Are the benefits widely distributed, or are they concentrated in the hands of a select few? Look for the financial mechanics, not just the sensational headlines. Understand the underlying economic principles at play. Follow the money trail. Diversify your news sources and seek out nonpartisan analysis. Don't rely on a single source for your information. Explore different perspectives and challenge your own assumptions. Fact-check claims and be wary of biased reporting. You don't need to be an expert with a PhD in economics, just informed enough to see the big picture and understand the fundamental principles at stake. Talk about money and politics with friends and family. Break the taboo. These conversations are crucial for fostering a more informed and engaged citizenry. The more we openly discuss these issues, the more we collectively understand the forces shaping our financial realities. The harder it is for politicians to hide behind complexity and obfuscation. Transparency is key to accountability. An informed public is the best check on political overreach and the most powerful tool for ensuring a fair and just society. This is your money, the money you work hard for, the money that funds our government and shapes our society. You deserve a say in what happens to it, in how it's spent, and in the policies that affect your financial well-being. So, what specific political decision, whether it's a tax policy, a regulation, or a spending bill, has hit your wallet the hardest? Share your story in the comments below. Let's start a conversation and shed light on the real-world impact of these decisions.